A very good afternoon. Thank you for joining us on the news desk of NTA Channel 5 Abuja at 1. My name is Tessie Omeri. University Africa Pageant has been urged to use the platform to revive the African culture, values, norms and empowerment of women in the continent. FCT Minister of State Ramatu Tijani Aliu made the call at the official unveiling of delegates to the 9th edition on decent culture, promoting African unity, tourism and empowering the African women, organized by the African Personality Forum in partnership with the FCT Social Development Secretariat. Ifanye Ezumba has more.
They are the beauty queens drawn from 55 African countries. It is a movement to curb indecent dressing, and the mere fact that these young girls across universities in Africa came together to participate is quite commendable. FCT Minister of State Ramatu Tijani Aliu advised them to ensure that the message of this year's edition resonates across Africa.
It is beyond putting together girls from 55 African countries. This is a movement beyond now. It is a vision and posterity, giving us an opportunity to indelibly put our footprints in the sands of time, in the new records of Africa, being together, united and stronger.
Secretary FCT Social Development Secretariat Hadiza Kabir assured the delegates of their safety, even as she called on them to explore ways to deepen existing relations that bind Africans together.
The promotion of decent dress culture among our young generation, to promote the African-rich culture, promotion of tourism, religious tolerance, peaceful coexistence, empowering of our women and youth, thus spreading restiveness. She
also assured the delegates that investment opportunities abound in the Federal Capital Territory. In Abuja, Ifanye Ezumba, NTA News.
The Federal Capital Territory Internal Revenue Service has projected the sum of 202 billion naira as the revenue target for 2022. Acting Executive Chairman of the service, Haruna Abdullahi, disclosed this while briefing the media on its scorecard in Abuja. Shuaibu Onoze Yakubu tells us more.
Given the FCT Internal Revenue Service scorecard for the year under review, the Acting Executive Chairman, Haruna Abdullahi, disclosed that the service has remitted 118 billion naira into the federal government's coffers as at November this year, which surpasses the 2021 revenue target of 109 billion naira, despite the global challenge of COVID-19. He noted that the service also engaged some consultants to conduct a 6-year back duty tax audit of ministry departments and agencies, as well as enterprises and corporate organizations in the FCT, with the initiative already yielding results.
Our intention by the end of 2022 is to have offices in every area council, and then of course more offices in the Abuja Municipal Area Council for obvious reasons. In terms of coverage, I think we are at close to 80% right now, and we hope to go more. There are other strategic partnerships that we are going to implement in the coming year. We are going to have desks in certain offices around the city that our services are needed most of the time. So just 1 or 2 staff that will provide services in some of these areas. So our intention.
The acting chairman further reveals that the organization is resolute in its effort at becoming the highest sub-national revenue generating agency in the country.
There is genuine in what they do, but probably making some mistakes here and they are not computing taxes due to the service appropriately. Now, these consultants that are working for us are helping most organizations sort out their tax responsibilities, and we've seen impact already.
He, however, maintained that with collaboration with relevant security agencies, the service will begin enforcement of its mandate next year. Shuaibu Onoze Yakubu, NTA News.
Still from the FCTA, the management of the Area Council Service Secretariat has been urged to ensure that they deliver on the policies and programs of the present administration. Mandate Secretary of the Secretariat Ibrahim Abubakar Dansoho, who made this call when he officially took over from the acting secretary, Mrs. Omolola Olanikwekun, said he will mobilize both material and human resources for grassroots development. Ifeanyi Ezumba has more.
While receiving brief from heads of departments and other principal officers of the Secretariat, Ibrahim Dansoho affirmed that under his watch, the Secretariat will carry strategic stakeholders along in developmental projects across the 6 area councils.
Build up a relationship, oversee most of the activities of the area councils. Where they are getting it wrong, we need to bring them to the limelight to know what is expected of them. We need to, part of what I will have is to ensure that there is governance closer to the people.
Director, Administration and Finance, Omolola Olanikwekun, pledged the support of the management towards the success of the Secretariat.
He has already taken the leadership of the Secretariat, and then our wishes and prayers is that by the grace of God, he will make his footprints in the sands of time. And I wish to tell him that he should be assured of the support of all of us here.
In a related development, the Secretary FCT Social Development Secretariat, Hadiza Kabir, has also resumed office with a call on the staff to ensure a nurturing environment for women, children, and other vulnerable groups in the society. In Abuja, Ifeanyi Ezumba, NTA News.
More than 62 youths have completed a one-year training program in different agricultural vocations. Secretary FCT Agriculture and Rural Development Secretariat, Abubakar Ibrahim, advised them to engage in ventures that will improve their living condition. This was at the 13th graduation ceremony for trainees of the Leventis FCT Agricultural Training Center, Yaba Abaji Area Council. Ifeanyi Ezumba again is standing by.
Enabling environment and support, youths can play an important role in achieving the collective quest of Nigeria for sustainable development. Secretary FCT Agriculture and Rural Development Secretariat, Abubakar Ibrahim, disclosed that apart from fulfilling its obligations of paying its share of counterpart funding for running the center, the Secretariat is working round the clock to ensure that the present set of graduating students gets their support in due time.
The Honorable Minister of State, Dr. Tijani, who is very passionate about agriculture, has graciously approved the provision of starter funds to the graduates, which will be distributed to you soon. The FCT, I would like to also assure you and continue to honor this obligation to this partnership by ensuring timely payment of this share of counterpart funding, which is critical to the sustaining the activities of this institution.
Director of Leventis Foundation, Hope Usaita, appreciated the FCT administration for sustaining its support for the center.
Between 1988 and now, Leventis Foundation Nigeria has trained over 30,000 youths, both male and female, under the one-year regular training program across these 6 schools. And reports from our extension team have shown that about 85% of those trained in our schools have settled into agriculture and related enterprises.
Outgoing student, whenever you find yourself, I beg, try so that you should be a good ambassador of this school.
There was presentation of awards to deserving trainees. Ifeanyi Ezumba, NTA News.
And now to update on COVID-19 figures from the Nigeria Center for Disease Control, NCDC, as at 8 December 2021 indicates no new case of COVID-19 in the FCT. The number of confirmed cases stands at 23,617, while active cases now 183. And the number of discharged cases stands at 23,210, and 224 deaths have been recorded in the Federal Capital Territory. And towards promoting the rights and understanding the plight of people living with disabilities, the Executive Secretary of the National Commission for People Living with Disabilities says their vulnerability makes them prime target in cases of human trafficking, sexual harassment and gender-based violence. Hence, their rights must be protected with dignity. Serafina Okon-Umekwe reports.
Amazing choreographed artistic moves that got the people cheering. But in actual reality, sounds of music makes no sense to them. The 2021 International Day with People Living with Disabilities may be gone, but has left unforgettable footprints in the minds of these personalities with distinctive abilities. As various speakers took over the center stage to commemorate the day, they charged these women who are either deaf or physically challenged to go all out and not only be a voice to their generations, but also be a part of governance.
It's nothing about us without us. You can't say that society is run or you have a government when we are not included. It means that you don't have interest in your purview.
Our own values in community and in a system institutionally to make critical interventions a critical difference. Right now we're talking about persons with disabilities. And the truth I say is that whoever we call anyone, we're just giving them a label that really puts a limit on them.
The message of hope I want to give them is that they should always be active for greater things. Disability is not a bound.
The event was put together by the Deaf Women Aloud initiatives. The theme for the 2021 International Day for Persons Living with Disability is Leadership and Participation of Persons with Disability towards an inclusive, accessible and sustainable post-COVID-19 era. In Abuja, Serafina Okon-Umekwe, NTA News.
To the wealthy ones with large hearts, beggars are humans that deserve kindness, care and support to survive the odds. But others, they think the other way. Begging to some people is simply a way of life, a right and a lucrative business for culture that provides shortcuts to comfort and wealth accumulation with less stress. The story of these two unique physically challenged men sighted around the Wuse market axis of Abuja by correspondent Rosemary Mosley Bilal. Street begging is not their target as they strive to rise above their present circumstances.
Investigations reveal that the number of beggars in cities and towns in Nigeria are on the increase. There are, of course, factors responsible for the increase, namely the rural-urban migration that compels unskilled and unemployable persons to relocate to urban areas in search of greener pastures. The religious factor that preaches givers never lack, the prevailing economic situation, and inadequate window of opportunities for disabled persons in Nigeria. While some people grumble about work, this fiscally challenged Abdul Malik Mohammed has ambition to make giant strides and live beyond his disability, do business and record achievements even more than the able-bodied.
As I roll on the floor like this, many people used to help me. I never start the business. So some people give me money last time to go and start business, and I did rent house.
You are married?
Yeah, I get wife.
Where is your wife now?
Yeah, it's in Niger State.
Hassan Alaji also suffers some form of disability which drive him the use of his legs. However, that did not deter the 54-year-old Yobe indigene from striving for a better life.
Kawai gwamnati taimakon da nake so gwamnati ta mu. Kin ga yanzu na shigo kasuwan nan. Har kama na aiki.
Har me?
Kama ni.
Kama ka kamar.
A zuwa kama na kai ni keji a rufe.
Saboda me?
Saboda ba a so a gani.
Su waye?
scheduled with responsibility of catering for the welfare of vulnerable persons through initiative aimed at eliminating their pain.
Some beggars, now you see them with huge amount of money. Instead of them to invest and quit the begging, they will continue to beg, keep the money, not invest it, living a wretched life, just in order to cash on public sympathy and exploit members of the public.
Hassan and his friends concord that begging is not a skill and no one can find joy in it, stressing that with begging, one can only depend on what people give one each day. However, they appeal to governments and spirited Nigerians to support them to be independent. Rosemary Molteleng Bilal, NTA News.
Hear the call of change. Stand up, Nigeria. Change is here and it's going to stay. Change begins with you. Oh yeah, make we go. Go to so let the change begin from within. Look at you, oh Gerula. Change begins with you and me. Change begins with me. Change begins with me. Change begins with me.
We welcome you back on Security Notes. The Police Community Relations Committee, PCRC, can be a veritable tool for mobilizing, creating awareness and sensitization to improve trust and confidence in the police among Nigerians if the platform is adequately explored in crime prevention strategies. This came to the fore at the maiden end-of-the-year award and lecture ceremony of the Police Community Relations Committee held in Abuja. Elias Onotia Kubo has more.
On behalf of the PCRC national body, this award is presented to AIG Austin Eva in recognition of your contribution to the development of PCRC in Nigeria. Congratulations.
Recognitions for individual and collective advocacy towards enhanced support of communities to strengthen policing and safety of lives across the spectra of the country. Amongst the recipients is the progenitor of the Noble Initiative and former Inspector General of Police, the late Sir Etim Iyang, who established the committee and provided the baseline for community policing in Nigeria 37 years ago. But beyond all of that, the partnership has become a core component of community-oriented policing to enhance culture of citizens' participation, ownership, and responsibility for the larger community, a sensitive dimension to even barriers, especially at this critical time of the nation's security history.
For the purpose of supporting peace and security and the maintenance of law and order. In the course of its job, the PCRC is supposed to source for intelligence information across the country.
Significant contribution to national security and community is the sharing of information. Sharing of information that can be processed as intelligence with relevant security agencies.
Providing the needed values of police-community partnership in community-oriented policing formed the discourse with experts succinctly advocating effective engagements to reduce the fear of crime and community safety issues.
This is a strategy that is committed to developing long-term programs and strategies to address the underlying conditions that create community problems.
Collaboration that is very key between the police and stakeholders in various communities across the country to collaborate, cooperate and chart new ways forward for effective and efficient policing of our country.
Moving forward, as a host of dignitaries posited, Through sustained partnership of some value-oriented projects, engagement is championed to enhance police ability to deter crime, thereby improving trust and confidence for better service delivery. Ilyasu Onotu Yakubu, NTA News.
And now to humanitarian gesture. Act of giving is a virtue which every human being is expected to emulate, even as the Holy Scripture admonishes people to give and receive in hundredfolds. It is on this basis that Jari Foundation extends hands of fellowship to Tasha Village, Kabusa, to share the little they have with them. Rosemary Motlel Bilal reports.
Give and you shall receive is an age-long phrase which many can attest to. Meshach Daladi, 9 years old, and Bright Ozaya, 11, are two of the young beneficiaries of the Humanitarian Act. The excitement of the gesture is evident in their promises to reciprocate the acts of benevolence when they grow up.
I will buy things and share, and I will buy things for my mommy and my daddy. If I grow up, if I have money, I will give the community people to come and share to everybody.
Representative of the village head, Thank God David Daladi, is motivated over the so-called done to his community, an initiative he described as timely.
We would like to say we are very, very happy with the gift, and it's our earnest prayer that as soon as she started this, we pray that the Lord...
The nation says the gesture is a way of giving back to the society.
Growing up, I've always had a passion for helping humanity, and then I was fortunate to marry someone who shares the same passion with me. We have the vision of seeing that people are not hungry. We are always willing to see how people can eat. Even in our house, in our environment, we always make sure that there's no hungry person around us. And we felt that, well, the real people that need to be alleviated of hunger are the people in the communities that we cannot reach out to.
They should just keep doing the good work, and they should keep putting smiles on people, not only the villagers but also in the urban slums and all.
Tasha Village Kabusa, under the Abuja Municipal Area Council, is a settlement for low-income earners who seek refuge to take advantage of that affordable access to food and shelter which Tasha community provides. Rosemary Molteleng Bilal, NTA News.
And on sports, Super Eagles striker Victor Osimhen has made a swift return to training after suffering a facial injury in a league game in Italian Serie A. As Australian Open Tournament Director Craig Telly says, there is no medical exemptions granted for tennis players. Let's join John Ojo with details of these and more on Sports Brief.
Nigerian and Napoli striker Victor Osimhen has returned to training on Wednesday after suffering a cheekbone and orbital fracture from a head-to-head collision with Milan Skriniar of Inter Milan during the Serie A clash. The 22-year-old went through a successful but complicated surgery, which now raises the Super Eagles' hope in the forthcoming AFCON competition in Cameroon. The operating doctor Gianpaolo Tattaro, after the surgery, reveals that the striker requires 6 plates and 18 screws to repair the devastating damage. Moving on, interim Manchester United manager Ralf Rangnick said he is delighted by the display of massive talent Mason Greenwood and now wants to help him develop physically and mentally. Manchester United's third rubber Champions League clash with Young Boys gave Ralf Rangnick chance to make 11 changes, including starting Mason Greenwood, 20-year-old, who opened scoring with a stunner. In boxing, blooded faces look at Fraser Clark as he left the changing room to compete a brutally one-sided tournament final against Cuba's stellar amateur team. Fraser Clark says his plan to demolish opponents and entertain fans all over the country. In tennis, Australian Open Tournament Director Craig Taylor says every player at the tournament must be vaccinated, as he reiterated that everyone at Melbourne Park would need to comply. To Formula 1, after 21 of this season's 22 races, Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton are tied on 369.5 points at the top of the driver's standing. The last day race at Abu Dhabi this Sunday will decide the winner. In Rugby League, Leeds' highly rated central Harry Newman has pledged his future to the Rhinos after exploring options in Australia and Rugby Union, as he agreed a new 3-year deal that will keep him at Headingley until at least the end of 2024. With Sports Brief, John Ojo, NTA News.
And that concludes the news at 1 on NTA Channel 5, Abuja, the Unity Station. We'll have more reports at 7. For now, do remember to take your COVID-19 vaccine and adhere strictly to safety protocols to keep safe. Thanks for watching.